Hey, what's up? This is Hunter with Tortoise and Hare Software, and today I've got a little bit of a spicy topic and question for you, and is that uh, if you go to hire a marketer for your MSP, can they outperform an ad budget of equivalent cost? Let's dive in. So there's a lot of MSPs out there that are thinking right now about hiring somebody to do marketing for them in 2025. And I just want to kind of present an alternative case here because, I think you can also think about when you go to hire a marketing person, what is their level of impact and potential ROI versus spending an equivalent amount on an advertising budget for your MSP. So I just kind of want to share some numbers and talk about the pros and cons because hiring a full-time marketer might not be the best path for your MSP, and spending that money on an ad budget instead might be more effective. All right, so I've got some slides here and some kind of like estimated costs for hiring a marketing person at various levels from entry level marketer all the way through a marketing leader and or executive. So at the kind of, entry level here, and this may even be an unrealistic number in 2025, but you might be able to get a entry level marketer for $40,000 a year in salary. Now, this is somebody who's probably not going to have a ton of experience and is going to need a lot of guidance and handholding, and what they bring to the table in terms of impact may be hard to estimate. But let's also look at kind of the equivalent monthly spend. So let's just say you wanted to spend that on an advertising budget instead. An equivalent monthly spend would be $3,300. Let's just say you've got an agency retainer of $1,500 a month. That would leave a $1,833 a month, estimated, ad budget remaining after enlisting an agency's help, and you might get an estimated one lead per month off of that ad budget. So that's 12 leads a year. And the question is, can hiring an entry-level marketer help you get more than 12 leads a year? Reaching out to your business, contacting you via phone call or through a form. So that's a good question. And when you hire an entry-level marketer, it's not like they're just going to be able to work independently and go out and generate leads without any assistance or guidance from either you or some sort of marketing leader. So this one's tough. There's also some kind of agency retainers typically have some sort of minimum. So the retainer at this level of ad budget is usually doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So the entry level marketer is probably the kind of weirdest one of these options. Kind of moving down the chain a little bit, we've got a intermediate marketer, and that would be an equivalent monthly spend of $5,000, and that would result in an agency retainer of $1,500 a month and an ad budget of $3,500 a month, and basing an estimated number of leads with a $1,500 cost per lead. You could estimate a 2.3 leads per month. So, and this is probably actually represents one of the most commonly sold kind of price points, spend levels, things like that, that I do with some of the clients here at Tortoise and Hare Software. We frequently can generate more than 2.3 leads per month, but it also kind of just depends on the month. I know one client has basically this exact set of numbers as far as like retainer and what they're spending. We've been averaging 5 leads a month from July through August, but we'll probably be 2 or less in November and December. So it kind of, might average out to this number, maybe even a little bit higher. So, you're hiring an intermediate marketer. Maybe they've got some experience doing some social media or can help you out with some field marketing. Maybe you get, a couple, leads a month from them. Maybe you don't. I think there's a lot of risk in this, but it might actually make sense to hire an intermediate marketer depending on like what the state of things is. Do you need somebody out there to do social media? Is it worth spending $5,000 a month on, social media? What are they going to do outside of that? Are they going to be able to administer a CRM? Do you even need a CRM at 2.3 leads per month? Are they going to be putting, networking events together? Can they operate independently? Intermediate marketer is a very tough to quantify thing, because an intermediate marketer could be anything from a senior marketer who doesn't know their value yet to an entry-level marketer who's overinflating their skills and things like that on their resume. So, just some numbers to think about. Then at the senior marketer level, let's say $90,000. This should be somebody who knows what they're doing and has some skills, and has some sort of established track record. Equivalent monthly spend, $7,500 a month. Agency retainer might be $1,500 if you were going to go the advertising route with an ad budget of $6,000. Estimated leads per month, 4 to 6. And I put 4 to 6 because the ad budget at a $1,500 cost per lead would dictate 4. But this is also the sort of range that you start to get a little bit more efficient with your ad spend and might get that down to $1,000 cost per lead. So that might, start looking like 6 leads a month. Again, like the decision isn't always like, senior marketer versus number of leads. It's like, what does the business need? But I just want to kind of put some of these numbers out there. The right senior marketer could very well hit the ability to generate 4 to 6 leads per month for your MSP each month. If they're doing, running some good webinars and are able to get the website in a good state and help out with other things like that. It just kind of depends. But if you have a lot of that infrastructure already in place, then it might not make sense to hire that marketer. It might be more sensible to do these ad budgets. A marketing leader, $150,000 a year, probably a salary $125 plus benefits puts you in the $150 range total cost. Equivalent monthly spend would be like $12,500 a month. You might have a retainer for a $10,000 a month ad budget in the $2,500 a month range from an agency. And then that might, if you have a $1,500 cost per lead, that would put you at 6.6 leads per month. But again, once you get at these higher ad budget levels, sometimes you can get a little bit of an efficiency bonus and might be able to bring that down to a $1,000 a month or $1,000 cost per lead. So, the range will probably be between 6 and 10 leads per month. And, just thinking about like hiring a marketer versus doing an ad budget, marketers take time to onboard and, ramp things up. Ad budgets can be more effective more immediately, depending on the type of advertising that you're doing. Paid search ads can be more immediate, whereas social media ads can be a little bit more of a long-term thing. But at a $10,000 a month ad budget, you'd ideally want to be doing both. At these smaller levels, the $3,500 ad budget, $1,800 ad budget, those are ones that you'd probably be want to more fully allocate your budget towards something like paid search, where there's a better chance to snipe bottom of market people. It's just going to be harder to really like generate meaningful brand awareness at these spend levels. But once you get more in the $6,000 to $10,000 range, you can start to split the focus of your ad budget a little bit more and have some allocated to paid search, some allocated to social media, and things like that. So just something to think about, because putting out a spend like this, $150,000, $90,000 to hire like a senior marketing person, can make a huge impact and can definitely beat lead volumes that an equivalent ad budget may generate, but it also may not. So sometimes the more reliable and effective route is to allocate that money to an ad budget instead. If you're not doing any advertising, and you have that good infrastructure in place, if you've already got an established website, you're doing some social media already, things like that, then an ad budget can really add some volume to your pipeline, and hiring an additional marketer may not be the right thing to do. I'm not really going to advocate for one way or the other, because realistically it does come down to what are the needs of the business. Do you need somebody to set the strategy? Do you need somebody to work on the website? Do you need somebody to be posting on social media? Do you need somebody to be attending trade shows? Do you need somebody to be able to host lunch and learns? Do you need somebody to be able to host digital webinars and things like that? Those are things that are maybe needs that are eclipse what an ad budget can offer, but there's no guarantee that those things are going to generate leads, and they're things it's all about execution. Does the hire that you have coming in, do you have a high level of confidence in their ability to execute, and that result in ROI down the road, or do you want to look at the advertising route instead? It's really up to you what the needs of the businesses are, the sort of hires you have on the table, and what sort of a talent that you think you can attract with your hiring budget. But just wanted to present this as a kind of something to think about when you're looking at hiring a marketer in 2025. Hope you liked the video. Hope I gave you something to think about with respect to hiring a marketer versus allocating an equivalent amount of spend towards an ad budget. If you did like it, feel free to follow along, like, subscribe, share, things like that, because we're creating all sorts of helpful MSP marketing content that can help you generate more leads and grow your MSP, and it really does help. All right, thanks again, and follow Tortoise and Hare software today.